send me the
All right,
gold.
man. What's up, man? What's up? Y'all know who y'all rocking with. It's Dre Baker. You rocking with boxing, bars, and bullshit. And let's dive right into the boxing. That's kind of been some bullshit, you know. Biggest news right now, man. We've been talking about it for a while, trying to see who was gonna fight who, how this shit gonna turn out. And we end up getting a purse bid on Keyshawn Davis versus Devin Haney for the welterweight title. 147. Um, you know, 147 been stacked for years. We done had greats in there. You know, Terrence Crawford is originally from that weight class. You know, we got a lot of big fights that we done seen over the years. But this fight of the new generation was supposed to be one of the biggest. A lot of shit talking. We had Keyshawn going around, you know, calling out Debo, saying where Debo at. You know, he Craig with the brick. You know, Craig. They say Debo was Debo until Craig came with that brick. So he was talking this shit. You know, it was very entertaining. Him and Bill Haney on these podcasts going back and forth. But this shit that just happened, the news that just broke, saying that Keyshawn Davis is giving up his mandatory spot, saying that he does not want to fight Haney no more. Now the bid has already went through, but like I said, let's break this down from start to finish. As far as this situation goes, these guys couldn't come to an agreement on who's going to make what in the fight, what the split would be. Keyshawn Davis said he wasn't taking less than $5 million. Devin Haney said he's not taking less than 75% of the purse. So since they can come to an agreement, that's when it goes to a purse bid. That's when the promotional companies bid, and then they decide who's going to get the fight and get to promote the fight based on who wins the bidding war. This bidding war, I believe, uh, Tiafimo Lopez production company. What is it? I'm not production promotion company. Takeover. They got the second highest bid, which was 2.35 million. Once they bid that, Top Rank outbid them and overpaid. They bid in at 8.5 and they won the bid. This bid goes in. Now it's up to the fighters to negotiate the rest of the terms so that we can agree, and then we can get this fight happening. The fight was supposed to take place October 3rd, um, somewhere between New York and Atlanta. We're not really sure right now. The venue wasn't set, but they had to negotiate. So during these negotiations, Devin Haney wanted 75% of the purse, which leaves Keyshawn Davis with 25%. 25% of the 8.5 million is going to be 2.1. Now, before they got to this purse bid, Keyshawn Davis was guaranteed $3 million. He turned down this $3 million in order to go to a purse bid, thinking that this bid was going to go at least $15 million. Now, in order for him to get $5 million of a purse, this bid would have had to be at least 20 million. Now, I don't see this fight getting that high of a bid, even though it is a popular fight. Would have been a great match, but $20 million is kind of pushing it. And even then, you know, that's paying Devin Haney 15 million and paying Keyshawn 5, which at this point in his career with 15 fights, I don't feel like he's worth the 5. But being guaranteed 3 was pretty big. That would have been his biggest payday. I think his largest payday up until the point of this offer was maybe $1 million. So he chose not to take this payday. He turned it down. He would have had $2.1 million in his pocket. I know it's all these things out about, you know, the guys in his corner, his managers, Jay Prince. These guys were taking, you know, Jay Prince alone would have took 35% of the 2 million, which is, I believe, was like around $800,000 to $900,000. So I think that's why he was trying to price himself up to get more money, because he got so many hands in his pocket. But let's call a spade a spade. This has to be the most diabolical, strategic, professional duck we have seen in a while. Now, I can't say ever seen, because a lot of people were saying, you know, this is the worst thing we've ever seen in boxing, but y'all don't recall. Let me take y'all back to 2023. Devin Haney goes in and defends his title against Vasily Lomachenko. Now, it's a very controversial fight. Devin Haney comes out on top. Shakur is at this fight. You know, he calls out Devin Haney in the ring, says he's going to be the next man up. Devin Haney is the man for now, in his words. He's going around in everybody locker room before they fights, taking picture, all in the videos, dancing. You feel me? He doing the whole nine trying to get this fight. They in the club, he's sending them bottles with a sign that say sign the contract. Now this contract looked very similar to the Keyshawn Davis contract. He sent Shakur Stevenson a contract where Devin Haney will get the majority of the purse. It was either 75-25 or it was 70-30. Either way, Devin Haney was the big dog and still is, and he deserves to call the turn. Sometimes you got to take that low ball in order to renegotiate later. So Shakur said it wasn't enough money for him. He's too good of a fighter to take a small amount of money like that. The fight should have been 50-50. But if you look at these fighters' records compared to Devin Haney, it's really no comparison. You even got fighters like Tank. Everybody loved Tank, but his record, the people on his record, the champions, the people that he's beat, cannot compare to the people that Devin Haney has beat. This guy went up against Vasily Lomachenko when nobody else wanted to. It was a very dangerous fight, which is, like I said, to this day, it's still controversial. And to this day, I can still say, because Lomachenko is one of my favorite fighters, and I was at the fight and I saw this shit, I think Lomachenko won. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Devin Haney not ducking no smoke. Devin Haney always is up for the challenge. But you always got these guys that feel entitled, these guys that feel like they've done enough in the sport. They popular on social media. They getting this traction. They got these followers. They doing all of this streaming shit that makes you or brings up your stock in boxing. That shit that you put on camera that ain't you fighting somebody, a worthy opponent, that shit don't matter. Like, I mean, we might care about it as the fans because it's some entertaining shit. It's all about entertainment. But at the end of the day, when you get in them negotiations and you are not the A side, and make no mistake, in neither one of these situations, either with Shakur or Keyshawn, Devin Haney is the A side. Neither one of them were the A side. So if you are the A side, you gonna conduct your business as you should. I get the most of the bag. I'm putting my title on the line. Both of them undefeated, I mean, I guess it's an asterisk with the Haney shit and Ryan Garcia, whatever. But end of the day, the undefeated shit don't matter. Devin Haney is the champion. So you coming up to challenge the champion, you just stepped in my division and you gonna dictate the terms? Hell no, bro. That's not how this shit works. So I don't think people understand how this boxing shit works. Everybody's saying like, oh well, yeah, he not ducking smoke. He just wanted a bigger payday, bro. Like I said, the most diabolical professional duck of all time. You know what I mean? Like I said, one of them because Keyshawn and Shakur did similar, damn near the same shit. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, I can't speak for nobody, speak for no other man, but they in the same camp. I'm sure Shakur gave him some advice on the situation, because this situation was very similar to his own. But you can't outprice yourself. You can't give me a price that you know I'm not gonna pay you, bro. You can't put that shit on the table and say you need $5 million when I'm the A side. I don't give a fuck what you think you need. These are the terms, and either you gonna take it or leave it. So what Keyshawn should have did, in my opinion, Keyshawn should have took that low ball. And it's not even a low ball. Like I said, I'm saying low ball because 75-25, as far as out of 100%, it sounds crazy when people looking at it from the outside in. Oh, man, they trying to make a contract. Basically, you looking at it like making a deal, but it's not really making a deal. We are agreeing to terms. This is boxing. I'm worth more than you, so I'm going to get more of the bag. It's not a 50-50 fight. Even if you think skill-wise, the matchup-wise, you think it's 50-50. Style-wise, it might be 50-50. I can agree on that. But we're not talking about that. We talking about business. If you know boxing business, I don't give a fuck what you think should be 50-50. It's not. I'm the champ. I got the record. I got the belts. You come into my division. No, you're going to have to fight on my terms. And yeah, like I said, Keyshawn should have took the terms. If you was going to whoop Debo ass, whoop his ass, and then get the automatic rematch, which I'm sure it was a mandatory rematch, get the rematch, and then negotiate better money next, because now you can say, okay, you got to put up some money to see Keyshawn Davis now. Now you have to put up some more money. Otherwise, we ain't got no fight. You got to pay me more money because now I got the belts. I got the control. But until then, bro, you got to fight on my terms. So all of that shit about I need more money, I'm not ducking no smoke, man. The man disappeared. And Keyshawn is my guy, bro. I done defended this shit on this same podcast. Keyshawn is my guy. But you are ducking smoke, bro. A duck is a duck. I called it like I see it. So yeah, you didn't blatantly say I don't want to fight Devin Haney. But what do you think you telling the people? What do you think you telling the professionals and the fans if you saying you need more money that you know they not gonna pay you? You ducking. You don't want the smoke. You think it's too much of a risk, so you're gonna outprice yourself. So I feel like that shit weak, bro. And especially if you going against somebody like Haney. Let me take y'all back again. I believe it was 2022. Haney fought Kambosos twice. That first fight, the split was damn near the same. I think it was about 70-30. Kambosos got like 10 million. Devin Haney got like 2.8. He went overseas twice. He beat him in the first match, unanimous decision. Beat him in the second match, overseas. Even though the rematch probably should have been in the States, he still went overseas. He said, fuck it. I'm going to agree to the terms. I'm the underdog in the situation. I have to take this. This is legacy. So I'm going to take the money because that was one of Devin Haney's biggest paydays up until that point. I'm going to take the money and then I'm going to earn my respect. Now that he the top dog, you're going to have to go in on his terms. So Devin Haney did it. What make you too good to take the money when you haven't made that much money in your career, bro? I don't understand. But like I said, man, this is some of the craziest shit we done seen based on the shit he was talking. And like I said, just like Shakur Stevenson did in 2023. You chasing Haney around, all this bullshit, but when it come time and Haney say, hey, fuck it, let's fight. Now all of a sudden it's, oh shit, it ain't enough money. Oh, now it's, oh shit, you gotta come to 144. Oh, now you need a rehydration clause. Nigga, you come into my division. You want to beat me at 147. You told these people you can beat me. You said Devin Haney is next. So what happened to that? Now all of a sudden Haney ain't next. Now all of a sudden he's too big to be in this division. He's a weight bully. He coming in at 160. All that other bullshit, bro. The sport is to make the weight. If I can make 147, I can fight at 147. Them not my rules. Nobody said I had to stay there. But if you put a rehydration clause in there, bro, that's a form of you being scared to fuck with me. Because nothing in the rules say you can't come in heavy like I'm coming in. I mean, however you want to come in the ring on fight night, however you're comfortable. But if you think I'm gonna bully you, why call me out? You know the term. You know how we coming in. So why call me out? So that's why I said, man, Debo Devin is real, bro. Everybody talk that shit. Devin is the villain. He is the villain. He can play the role well. Shout out to Bill Haney. You know, I don't like everything he do, but for the most part, bro, this villain role that they play that shit to the T. And anybody that want to learn how to be a villain, man, hey, call Bill Haney. Call Devin Haney, man. They being the villain and they going in and they whooping motherfuckers' ass, bro. And 147, Haney looked great at 147. It's just 100% facts. He just beat the shit out of Brian Norman, broke his nose and all that, man. It's like, and that was one of the elite guys. He one of the guys that's stopping these fighters. But when you step up in competition and you're not scared, because again, shout out to Brian Norman because he wasn't scared to take this fight with Haney. You think Norman got the most money in that fight? Like, come on, man. Like, if we check the track records of the new generation, I've been saying this from day one. Shout out to Larry, bro. When my nigga Larry come back on, I know we gonna have this debate, and it's gonna end the same from my standpoint because I've been saying this. Devin has the best record of the new generation. Devin Haney is one of the best fighters of the new generation. He hasn't yet proven to be the best because when he gets to these points and we in negotiations, everybody either talking themselves out the negotiation or pricing themselves out. And when I say everybody, I mean the guys that we want to see him in the ring with. Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. I would want him to fight Richard Hitchinson, but it really ain't worth his time. But that's somebody he may end up fighting just because these guys don't want to fight him. Now, right after Keyshawn turned down this fight, guess who tweeting now? Shakur Stevenson. Hey, come down to 144. Let's get this catch weight. You got it. Bro, stop the cap, man. That's some like if y'all gonna fight this man, fight him at 147. Why we gotta put in all these? Let me take away this from you. All right, let me put this handicap in. Shit, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's like we hooping, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I can hoop you. I'm talking shit every day. We can play 1-on-1 anytime. When we get to the gym, nigga, I'm like, oh shit. As long as you tie one hand behind your back and only shoot jump shots, then shit, I bet you I can beat you. Nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You can't fuck with me because now you want so much shit in play for me to even get in the ring with you, for me to even get in the gym with you. Now all of a sudden you gotta have a handicap for me to fight, for me to hoop, for me to play. Like, come on, bro. Where they do that shit at, bro? Like I said, bro, the nigga priced himself out. He pulled the same shit his big brother pulled, and can't be respected, bro. That shit's soft, man. Y'all been talking shit about Haney all this time. Y'all hate the Haneys. They bad for boxing, all this other bullshit. But when it come down to taking care of business, taking the fight, and actually getting out there and fighting the best, Devin Haney is the only one of this generation that's doing it. I mean, Teofimo, I got to give him his props too. But I don't think Teofimo can fuck with Haney. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we talking about the top fighters, and Teofimo is one of the top fighters, he'll fight anybody too. I can really vouch for that for Teofimo because he's doing it actively right now. Whoever you put in front of him, he gonna accept. He just fought Shakur, and he knew that was a risky fight. Lost to Shakur, he on a rolling. You know what I mean? But up until this point, and people don't want to hear this, bro. Up until this point, when Shakur fought Tio, who who else did he fight? Who else did Shakur fight? We know Shakur is an elite boxer based on our boxing knowledge. He got the jab, he got the defense, he got the counter punching. He don't get hit. He Floyd Mayweather-esque. He doing all of this shit in the ring. He doing all the right shit, but who is he fighting? Even with the Tio fight, Tio is elite, but he fought Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Tio was dangerous, in my opinion. He neutralized that shit. But let's take it a step up. Because before that, who you fought? Zapata? Zapata got good work. Matter of fact, hey, right tonight, shit, he about to fight Lamont Roach. And that shit should be a good fight. So I'm gonna watch that shit. Zapata's a good fighter. Great? Hell no. Before Zapata, who did he really fight? I believe it was De Los Santos was probably one of the worst fights we done seen. He was running the whole time. Now he hurt his hand. Don't get me wrong. But that's when he started getting pissed off about people saying he born. Don't nobody want to see Shakur fight. Who gonna pay for that shit? Because he was running the whole time. Went out there, tried to stand toe-to-toe with Zapata. He almost got dropped. He really got challenged in that fight. What do you think Devin Haney about to do to him? And Devin Haney is a good-ass boxer. I just don't understand, like, yeah, you can hate Haney and you can love and hate whatever boxer you want to, man. But if you really know boxing, you know Haney is a fucking threat, bro. And that's why these niggas don't be wanting to fight him. So like I said, Debo Devin is the perfect name. This duck, Keyshawn Davis, is just ridiculous, bro. That's bad for boxing. Too much shit was said, bro. You gotta go out there and prove that shit. So all of this about Keyshawn needed more money and y'all don't know shit about boxing, man. And I hate to be cliche and use that, but you can't know shit about boxing if you think he deserved that bag he was asking for. Also, you don't know where the smoke and mirrors at if you don't think that he knew he wasn't getting that fucking bag. Nigga, we offered you $3 million from the gate. You thought you was about to get 5? Then, like I said, the first bid started at $200K. You lucky this shit even got up to $8.5 million. But Top Rank knew this is a fight we can sell. We gonna get him that money and still make money. But you still turn that down. I want to see what's the explanation, bro? Because from where I'm sitting, all I see is ducks, bro. Shakur, duck. Keyshawn, duck. Now, yeah, Haney said he'd come down and fight Shakur at 144, man. So it should still be a fight going on. That should be a good fight, but you already ducked him before, bro. So like I said, if you go through the timeline, 2022, Haney went over to Australia, I believe. He fought Kambosos twice and took the low cut, 70-30. 2023, he goes in and fights Lomachenko, puts his belts on the line, beats Lomachenko by unanimous decision. Shakur gets in the ring after the fight, chasing Devin Haney for months and months on end. They finally send the contract. The split was 75-25, just like this Keyshawn Davis fight. He turned the shit down. He said he need to make more money. Years go by now. We 3 years in the making this fight is supposed to be. Now, mind you, all of these top fighters was at 135. At one point, all of these guys was at 135. Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Tank Davis. Shit, Keyshawn was at 135 at one point. All these guys was at 135, but they not fighting each other. Until Haney like, fuck that. I won't smoke with everybody. Nobody want to fight him. Tank Davis, I don't know if they ever negotiated the fight or not, but if you recall, Tank Davis put in a rehydration clause on Ryan. And that's probably the most frail we ever seen Ryan look. Even though Ryan probably still would have lost that fight because he's not a good boxer. But at the end of the day, why do we need all of these stipulations? If I can make the weight, then cool. Now, I do understand weight bullies. I understand what y'all mean by that. If a guy can come in the ring and outweigh me by 20 pounds, then how is that fair? Whatever. But that's the rules of boxing, bro. If I can make the weight, I can fight in that division. It don't tell me. And then I think each state has its limits on how far you can rehydrate. But the no rehydration shit, you really trying to drain a motherfucker, bro. You really trying to gain an advantage when you should have the advantage with these. You going in there, you think you can outskill this motherfucker. You think you can outthink him, box him. Do your fucking thing, bro. Do what we paying you to what we paying to see. Get in the ring, show your skills, and outbox this motherfucker, man. But at the end of the day, bro, y'all niggas scared, bro. Y'all scared of Debo Devin. And like my nigga Larry, he gonna be mad when I keep saying Debo Devin, bro. That's some Debo shit. Like, nigga, what's up? Nigga, what bike, nigga? Nigga, he done, man, these niggas crazy, bro. Crazy. But end of the day, bro, I'm gonna keep saying this shit. The craziest duck we done seen in recent history. The most diabolical duck. My boy Uno, he say this shit was so covert, nigga. We gotta use military terms for this shit, bro, because you was in that motherfucker like you bobbing and weaving and we ain't even in the ring yet. You trying to find a way out because we ain't hear from you in weeks, and all of a sudden you get back on with this live saying you gonna whoop Devin, whatever, and then you turn down the fight. Come on, man. So yeah, bro. Like I said, I called this shit, man. I made a few statuses about it. Just because you get that purse bid, just because they got a fight that they want to schedule, it ain't gonna mean shit until the fighters come to an agreement. And if you got fighters like we got in this generation, you're not gonna come to no agreement, bro. It's all gonna be smoke and mirrors, bro. That's it. That's it. You want to be overpaid, you outpricing yourself, and yeah, that was a duck that you can have an excuse for, bro. I damn near got a clap for that, bro. Like nigga, that we can never say that you technically said or verbally said I don't want to fight Devin Haney. You gonna always say, oh, I want enough money on the table. 15 fights, nigga. Come on, man. You got 15 fights. And you cold, bro. I fuck with Keyshawn, bro. I gotta keep saying that because y'all gonna think I'm fuck. That Keyshawn is one of the guys that I fuck with, bro. I put him in there with anybody. And I could put my money on Keyshawn. This is one of them fights though that we all knew, and I know that he knew that O might be leaving tonight. Shit, Haney know that. It could leave tonight, but Haney gonna get in there. He gonna put it all on the line. He the one that did it, bro, too many times. So yeah, bro. I don't really know too much to say about this, but I'm telling you, bro, this type of duck should be studied. You know what I'm saying? So hey, all you pros, all you pro boxers, man, shit, fuck pro boxers. All you kids out there, man. If you ever want to duck a fight, study this situation with Keyshawn Davis, man. Because it ain't, it's hard to hold the man accountable, but I'm gonna hold you accountable, bro. No bullshit, bro. I know this boxing bars and bullshit, but this shit right here, bro, this ain't the bullshit I was talking about, bro. If we talking about boxing, we supposed to be boxing. So yeah, bro. Disappointed, very disappointed this fight is not gonna happen. Hopefully we get the Devin Haney and Shakur. I wish Shakur would just go to 147 instead of the 144, but Haney said he'll get him at 144, bro. So if they gonna do that, but I guarantee y'all, man, if that rehydration clause shit come back up, we not gonna get that fight either. Haney not gonna agree to no rehydration, and I don't see Shakur letting up on that rehydration shit because I feel like he's scared that Haney gonna come in the ring and knock his ass out based on his weight and the power behind his punches. So yeah, especially after seeing him with Brian Norman, man, like they don't want to see Haney in the ring. So it's unfortunate, man, and I just have to speak my piece on that shit. So it is what it is, bro. It is what the fuck it is, man. Damn. Spence versus Tim Tsyzu. We did have a good fight. Um, I ain't gonna say a good fight. It was a solid performance, but to me, Spence looked like he did against Crawford in the ring with Tim Tszyu. It's just Tim Tszyu is not Terrence Crawford. But on the opening bell, I saw Spence throw a punch and lift up his back foot when he threw his power hand. And that right there told me like he was off balance, he was rusty, 3 years off, but even with the 3 years off, when he was in the ring and he got in there with Terrence Crawford, he did not look himself, bro. That shit was not the Spence that we grew to know and love, bro. That wasn't the legendary Spence. So I think it was time for him to retire after the Crawford fight, but I guess he wanted to go out on his own terms. So he got this last payday, man. But I feel like, from my standpoint, he kind of got their ass with getting them to pay him this money to lose to Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the real Spence would have put Tim Tszyu down. And I saw flashes of it. I'm not gonna say it was all bad. I saw the flashes of him getting in that phone booth with the relentless work. But after a while, bro, he just stopped punching. Um, 12th round. That 12th round was fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't punching, Tszyu wasn't punching. Like that shit just wasn't nothing that I wanted to see. So, I know a lot of people giving him his props. You got to give him his flowers because he is one of the greats. I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. So definitely shout out to Spence. He was one of my favorite fighters. But this last performance was trash. He looked like he did with Crawford, and I thought something was wrong with him that night. He looked fresher when he walked out and shit like that against Tim Tszyu this time, but when he got in the ring, he was the same guy. So I knew Tim Tszyu was gonna win this fight. I know I got a couple of my guys that act like they thought Spence was gonna win, but I ain't see it, bro. It looked like he lost that shit. Like that night that he fought Crawford, I feel like that shit was gone. Took his powers on Space Jam shit, bro. He ain't had no more powers, bro. He couldn't do shit. So his power's still gone, bro. They stuck in that basketball, from Space Jam and shit. They still in the glove. They still in fucking Terrence Crawford glove and shit. So yeah, but all jokes aside, that shit, that's exactly what it looked like. Like Terrence was one of the monsters and he was beating the shit out this motherfucker. Took his power. So and I don't think it was the accident either. The accident is what people keep bringing up, but he fought Ugas after that accident and he got busy. You know what I'm saying? I want to say he broke his eye socket and everything, bro. Like Spence was getting busy after that accident. It's just, I guess when you don't got it no more, it leave quick, bro. So, all the younger fighters and everybody coming up in the fight game or athletes, period, man, when you got your youth, man, use it, man. Make as much money as you can. Milk the game for what it's worth, and then shit, get the fuck out of there on your own terms and be healthy. So glad to see Spencer's healthy. I'm glad to see he can take care of his family. So much love, shout out to him. But got to keep it real on boxing bars and bullshit. Did not like that fight, and yeah, Tim Tszyu, I think he could have put him down, but I think he was being very hesitant because of the potential that Spence got to go ahead and let off on him, and he did hit him with a few good shots. I just didn't like that fight, man. So yeah. Shout out to Errol Spence Jr., bro. Um, Joshua versus Prenga. Um, Joshua did nothing that I didn't expect him to do. I never really liked how Joshua boxes. The best boxing I've seen from Joshua, like actual boxing, is the rematch with Ruiz, and it was a scary fight. So like when I say scary, not like it was dangerous for anybody. It was scary because Joshua was scared to engage with Ruiz. It was like he was hesitant because Ruiz had him on that back foot. So um, I can't really respect that shit either. Joshua went ahead with Prenga and got his ass dropped a few times in the first round. Now, the only thing I can respect is that he came back in the second round and knocked him out completely. That did look a little funny. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe dude got tired, but I think Vegas made that call like, hey, you ain't supposed to win this fight, nigga. So you're gonna have to calm the fuck down. We need that Joshua versus Fury. So Joshua gotta win this fight. If he'd have lost the fight, no Joshua versus Fury. So the shit kind of had to happen. But yeah, Joshua always getting knocked down, bro. Like he always getting his ass dropped. He been proven to have a glass jaw, and we kind of just let that shit be because he's a heavyweight, and they all heavyweights get knocked out. But he done got dropped hella times, bro. Like that's why Ruiz took his belts that time because Ruiz hit his ass with some shit he couldn't recover from. So yeah, bro, Joshua, man. Not a big fan of Anthony Joshua. I do want to see him versus Fury. I do got Fury winning that fight unless Joshua lands a right hand. That's his money punch. No matter how I feel about him, I think his right hand is his money punch. So if he's able to do that, then we can get some more life out of Joshua. Maybe we get a Joshua versus Wilder, or I think we might get Wilder versus Usyk because Usyk said he want to fight Wilder before he retire. So yeah, I mean, we got a few potential fights coming from these two wins. Him and Fury beating the other guy, and then Joshua beating Prenga. But Joshua got a glass jaw. Won't get tired of saying it. Been saying it. He needs to get more in his bag. He looked like he could be a better boxer athletically, but when he get out there, he looked like sometimes he look like he got two left feet, bro. Like he can't dance, got no rhythm type shit. So take him too long to get in this groove, and that could be dangerous against Fury. But Fury is old. and you never know. He could knock Fury ass out, but not really a fight we all really want to see at this point in their careers. But I will watch it. I gotta watch it. You know they're gonna put it on, so I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, great comeback. I'll say that. But like I said, it looked a little funny. Looked like Vegas made that call, and that's really all I got to say about that shit, bro. Um, Richard Hitchinson. So Hitchinson is a very, very solid boxer. We've all seen that. We've all seen that he can get in there and he gives you a little bit of that Shakur. Um, he's very sharp. He got his counter punches. He works that Philly shell well. We just need him to get more competition. He with Zuffa now, so it might be iffy with the negotiations with Zuffa and these other promotion companies. But yeah, Richard Hitchinson should get a big fight. I want to see him in there with somebody that we actually fucking know. So I mean, I think he fought Cambosis. He beat Cambosis up pretty bad, but you know, Cambosis is washed up at this point. We really don't want to see him anymore. And he fought him after everybody done beat him. So that's really nothing we need to see or hear about again. We need to see Richard Hitchinson in there with somebody that's young, hungry, a champion maybe, because he does have the skills. So I like to see him in there with somebody different. So shout out to Richard Hitchinson, man. I'm a fan. I just want to see you in there with better competition so we can really see what you really can do. But you definitely be in the gym. You definitely got the defense, the offense, the whole nine. So shout out to you, bro. Edgar Barlenga, another guy, glass jaw, bro. You get in there with these guys that we barely know, and they putting your ass on the floor, bro. Like, great comeback win. Again, they stopped the fight, and you got what you wanted. But you get in there with another elite, um, like what's the guy? Hamza, I think that's his name, that knocked you out last time. You get in there with another elite guy like that, bro. I think you're going down again. So I feel like they overpaid Barlanga to join Zuffa Boxing. I don't think he's one of the elite fighters that you're gonna pay a big bag to get them out there and bring a crowd out. But he talk a lot of shit. So talk a lot of shit. He do got heavy hands. So I can't be mad at the deal. I can't be mad at another man getting paid. So get your money. But got a glass jaw, bro. You got to work on that. From that fight that we just saw, his first fight on Zuffa, I do feel like he was fighting very well in the first round. Very well until he got dropped at the end of the round. Then after that, he went back to his old ways. He went back to trying to slug it out and look for that 1-2 knockout punch, putting so much weight behind his punches, trying to knock him out, and it ended up paying off in the end. But if he'd have just fought the fight that he trained to fight, because it looked like he trained different for this fight, because the way he started off, I think he would have did a lot better just getting through the fight and cruising. And the knockout would have came eventually because the other guy probably didn't expect Barlanga to fight like that. So keep training, bro, and work on your defense. Work on your counter punching and shit like that. Keep that jab because that jab is what was working. But you went away from all of that and you went back to your old ways. So if you fight a better fighter, I can see you getting your ass knocked out again, bro. And stop hitting them gloves together. When you get knocked down, bro, hitting them gloves together ain't doing shit for you, bro. I don't know if that's like a habit you got, but that shit just be funny to me, and that shit don't work. So yeah, bro. Protect yourself at all times. That's all I got to say about Barlangia. So all in all, man, I just wanted to get on this camera real quick because we got that news, man, and I see a lot of people talking their shit about it. So I kind of wanted to break that down with the Keyshawn and the Devin Haney thing and the disappointment that I have with that because I was going to that fight, bro. No matter what, I was going to that fucking fight, and now y'all done fucked it up. Now, when I say y'all, I mean Keyshawn. So guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Quick episode today. I'm gonna give y'all a little more content later on in the week. I'm gonna go up here, watch this Lamont Roach versus Zepeda. I do have Lamont Roach winning, but Zepeda is dangerous and he could knock Lamont Roach out. But Zepeda takes a lot of risks, and Lamont is a great counter puncher. So I can see him winning this fight. Don't want it to be another draw. If Lamont Roach get another draw, I don't want to see that motherfucker fight no more. Because you gotta either do enough. Once you get to a point where you ain't doing enough, that's your corner job too. Tell it it's time to take a risk. It's time to go get it. You got to turn that shit up, bro. I don't want to see no more draws. So, yeah, man. Boxing is in a great place, man. It's a lot of shit to talk about, but I'm gonna clip this together and get some of this shit out about this Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney situation. So much love, appreciate y'all, love y'all. And as always, it's boxing, bars, and bullshit. But that shit we just witnessed, it's some bullshit.
Send me the gold, I am the gold. You raise it to me, then we making a toast. Throw it to me, I got Shaq in the post. Send me the dream, take a lean and I float. Send me the gold, I dream and I hope. Wish a nigga would challenge me for the throne. Off of the balcony, you would get thrown. Ain't 9 to 5 when my office is closed. Send me the gold, give me